So, people have asked what should be our state in this moment of crisis. In fact, in all moments of crisis, individual, personal, and collective, there should be one state. We want the grace to act, but we have to allow the conditions through which the grace can act. Of course, the grace acts always, but it's quite a different thing when we create the conditions, when the conditions are best. Shobindu answered this several times when people were sick and they sought the grace and they were getting restless and agitated. They wanted it to act fast. They were in a state of impatience, haste, inquietude. Then he said, well, the grace will act even then, but it's quite a different thing when there is a state of calm and trust in the being. So, if you really want the grace to act, first thing is to stay calm within. The more peaceful we are, the more optimistic we are, the more full of faith and trust, the greater will be the action of the grace. So, what we have to avoid is this haste, agitation, excitement, fear, panic, and all the rest. Because then the grace is to first set that right, and then it can cure us from within and give us the true remedy, which is not just about the physical illness, but the psychological dislocation, the psychological inner disharmony in which we live, inviting one problem, one crisis, one illness after another. Actually, we have multiplied diseases along with the doctors and hospitals. It's time to find the true cure and the radical remedy. And that radical remedy is not just about vaccines and treatment for this or that virus or bacteria, but to find a way so that we can become immune forever from all disease and all accidents, and one day even conquer death. And the door of that remedy opens when we have faith and peace and calm and stillness. This is a prayer of December 5th, 1912. In peace and silence, the eternal manifests. Allow nothing to disturb you, and the eternal will manifest. Have perfect equality in face of all, and the eternal will be there. This is the time to practice yoga. Yoga in the world, to stay in a state of peace, calm, equality, turned with complete trust in the grace, that regardless of everything else, the grace can and will save us. Yes, we should not put too much intensity, too much effort into our seeking for Thee. The effort and intensity become a veil in front of Thee. Any kind of too much effort reflects an impatience. And this is the hour to be patient, to be quiet, and to wait for the grace with surrender and faith. We must not desire to see Thee, for that is still a mental agitation which obscures the eternal presence. The less agitated we are, the more calm we are, the more the divine can act. It is in the most complete peace, serenity, and equality that all is Thou, even as Thou art all. And the least vibration in this perfectly pure and calm atmosphere is an obstacle to Thy manifestation. We want the supramental to act directly, so this is the way. She said if there is a least disturbance in our being, the supramental cannot find sufficient base to act. Because if it acts in a state of agitation, there will be catastrophic results. But when we are in a state of wideness, calm, peace, equanimity, plastic to the divine touch, ready for anything that the divine may give to us, in a state of total self-surrender, whether it be life or death, whatever He chooses for us. Like Radha's prayer, we are ready, smiling and glad and willing. That is the time for the supramental to act. It is in the most complete peace, serenity, and equality that all is thou, even as thou art all. And the least vibration in this perfectly pure and calm atmosphere is an obstacle to thy manifestation. No haste, no inquietude, no tension. Thou, nothing but thou, to see the divine in everything. This is the moment and this is the hour. Without any analysis or any objectivizing. And thou art there without a possible doubt. For all becomes a holy peace and a sacred silence. This is the inner temple, the sanctum sanctorum, the sanctuary that we always carry within. And it is in this temple that we must step when all the outer temples, mosques, gurudwaras, churches, and places of worship are being locked down and closed. Here we must enter a temple where the deity was always waiting for us, a temple that is open 24/7, a temple where we need no priest except the psychic flame, which alone is the sufficient priest of sacrifice. A temple where we don't need to chant any mantra except the name of the divine in whatever way we can conceive of him. A temple where ritual worship is offered by nature and where we can offer as sacrifice all that is within us, from the most beautiful and sublime to the darkest and the densest elements, the crudest elements we can offer in this flame of sacrifice. And that is better than all the meditations in the world.